Hi, Beth here. Wow, it's been a while since I've recorded anything. Or, posted, but we won't talk about that. Anyways, I wanted to do some practice tarot things. Gosh, if I could talk. Past, present, and future self. I was thinking I might do, this could be like an audience one, although it's gonna be not as organized as some of the other people you see online here, because my phone is just dumb, and I could record a video on it, but I don't really want to sit there and do 20-minute intervals of recording and then turning it off and then putting it on my computer and then deleting it off my phone and then repeating the process over and over. That would just it's so tedious, and I don't want to do it. You can't make me. But anyways, I want to do, maybe I'll do 3 groups, and I also want to mention that I'm still fairly new to tarot, so my stuff probably won't be mega accurate. I'm gonna try my best to read it, but yeah, there's still a few things here and there I don't know, and I'm still practicing using my intuition and looking at the cards themselves and seeing outside of just their general meaning. So bear that in mind if you're listening to this and you're like, there's parts of this that don't sound quite right, or she could have interpreted that differently. Well, you're right. But whatever, it's too late. The first group, I don't know, I have this raw crystal quartz. I was trying to do some meditating before I started this. This crystal kept popping into my mind. So, group 1, if you're out there, you have clear crystal quartz. I'll try to remember to take a picture of it so I can show you what it looks like. And your past, present, future self, we're using the Hush Tarot deck, which finally came. For those of you who haven't been listening, which is probably everyone, I ordered these in September, and they didn't come until November 16th. But anyways, it doesn't matter because I got them really cheap. Moving on into the reading, which I'm doing this lazily because group 1, I'm so sorry. If I think about putting something up so you can know where to skip, I'm just gonna ramble really quick about my day, which wasn't really crazy per se. It's just I've been working on stuff nonstop, and then now that I'm sitting down, I'm like, I don't want to keep sitting upright in an uncomfortable chair, so here I am sitting in my more loungy chair, if you will. So if my voice also sounds distant, I'm leaning back in this chair because I feel like I can't be bothered to, I don't know, scoot forward and to talk to the phone. I'll try to talk louder, lean forward. Yeah, I'll put effort in. I'll try to lean forward. So, for group 1, I'm wondering, I don't know, I guess I'm just curious why I was drawn to the crystal quartz. And I don't really do the flyers unless they pop out, so I'm going to shuffle this one more time. And if I don't get anything, guess who's drawing from the top of this deck? Me. Ah, frick, I put this in a horrible spot. Where can I put my cards? Arg. Sorry if you're hearing clunking. Don't mind that, it was just me pushing my rock out of the way. Okay. So, past self. You've got 5 of swords. No, these are wands. Okay, my mistake. 5 of wands. And then 8 of wands. Uh-oh. May not have shuffled this very well. 9 of wands. Okay, we got all wands here. Don't ask me what that means yet, I don't know. My brain tells me creative and spiritual energy, fiery energy. Leo came to mind immediately, because, duh, they're a fire sign, but I just meant that was the first fire sign that came to me. So to describe past self, at least in this card, there's like this, to me it looks like a gardener snake. Oh, there's 3 gardener snakes. They're all like woven around the wands, and at the very bottom there's 2 snake heads that are holding this pearl. Okay, sorry, to pause and take a second to remember what this was. So this is the one where you or someone, whatever in your life, like you're fighting over something, like there's all these people against each other fighting with these wands, or in this case 3 snakes. I just heard poisonous bitch, so there you go. Even though when I said gardener snake, those are not poisonous, venomous, whatever. I don't know everything, okay? So if I make a mistake, don't come at me. Maybe it's something you perceived as being a toxic situation, but it wasn't as bad as you thought. I'm getting like arguing over nothing, or like being confused because these snakes are all intertwined, which would make me think like jumbled thoughts or paths that seem to be going in all directions, like something was just not right, but you couldn't figure out what wasn't right. Maybe it was all in your head. I was drawn to my quartz thinking like clarity, and maybe that's what you needed was clarity, and there just was none of that there. Even with them holding this pearl, which looks less like a pearl because that also looks sort of clear, and with the 2 snakes fighting over it, maybe someone was fighting for like a solution or the truth or something. And it just, the more you fought, the more it got twisted up. So then moving on to the 8 of Wands, which is a woman lying in the grass, and there's these tall sprigs coming up, and there's red cardinals on them. So I'm getting, things are still up in the air, sort of. Like you're kind of resting, but exhausted. But maybe rest is just what you need. Well, you know, for clarity. And birds make me think of freedom, so it could even be like, I don't know, taking time to rest, and then you wake up and then you can figure it out and, you know, be free of the situation. But yeah, it's still something that's in progress. That would be your current self. And then lastly is the 9 of Wands, which is this black stallion, and all the wands are like tied up with a rope, and he has one in his mouth. He looks like he's charging into a battle or something. I'm getting like confidence, maybe. Okay, I don't know if this means anything, but I took a second to look at the card, and I kept like on a loop hearing fiery, cinnamon, and spicy. And I think it's because there's splashes of like this misty red behind the horse. I don't know, that was just like the scent or like the sensation I was kind of getting looking at this card. But this is your future self, so this could be you've rested and maybe now you're confronting the problem and you're going in very prepared. You're feeling ready and more confident for what's to come. Yeah, I guess that's pretty straightforward to me. That could just be me not knowing enough to give you a more in-depth answer, but that's kind of what it seems like to me. So whatever you're potentially dealing with, I'm getting the feeling it will be resolved in the future. Like, there's some kind of battle ahead, but you'll be very well prepared for it. And so it should get solved after that, by your own doing, of course. So, good luck. I hope you get the clarity that you need. Sorry again that this is short, but I guess I just don't have anything else. Sometimes the answers just kind of come to me And then, like, that's all I have. So, ending it here. Thank you for listening. Okay, we're on to group 2 of past, present, future self. I have green aragonite. It's supposed to be, I'll just read this little card I have. I'm intentional about the energy I put out and the energy I allow around me. So there we have it. That was the next stone I was kind of drawn to for this next reading. I'm going to try and shuffle these a little better because the first one, I got 3 wands in a row, and so, I don't know, I didn't reshuffle it because I don't know, you know, sometimes it just doesn't feel right, and so I was like, okay, I'll just leave them all there, but really these need to be better shuffled, even though I've shuffled these so many times. I'm the world's worst shuffler. We're not going to talk about it anymore because it's embarrassing. Okay. Past self is the King of Cups in reverse. And present self is 7 of Pentacles. Oh, shoot. Frick, was that upside down or not? Yeah, I think it was. Okay, and then lastly is the 7 of Swords. Also in reverse. Okay. So with this stone, it was mentioning something about helping with self-discipline or something like that. And I'm thinking maybe past self with this reversed King of Cups. Maybe you didn't have great self-discipline on your emotions. Like you just kind of were everywhere. Because with this upside down, here, let me talk about the other way because it's going to sound weird. In the upright, he's holding the cup and the liquid in the cup is floating upwards, but with it down, it looks like everything's spilling out. Which makes me think, you know, like a loss of control of emotions or the unwillingness to control emotions. And something about the king from this angle, he looks like angry or hollow, and he's all, his bottom half's all wrapped up in these brambles, and there's trees growing around him, so maybe he's been here a long time in this state of mind where things just aren't right. I'm getting some kind of like bitterness, like there's like sorrow and then lashing out, maybe. That would be my thoughts, because he looks, half his face looks a little smudged, which makes me think maybe loss of identity or loss of self. It could even be a loss of self-worth, and so you have all these damaging feelings, and then you lash out at people. It's just kind of how it goes. Hurt people. But even if it's in reverse, there is still some kind of growth happening, like positive growth on the branches. There are little leaves growing off of the trees behind him. So there's some kind of comfort there as well, but it's hard to see it. So the next in the reverse is 7 of Pentacles, and this depicts a woman holding a large key. There's a raven behind her. She's not wearing any clothes, so that makes me think like vulnerable. But with it in reverse, I'm getting maybe, instead of being vulnerable, there's like walls put up. Stunted growth. Because even the stuff growing around her, the colors are very faded, which makes me think there's dead things lying around that need to go. There's something about this bird coiled around her. It almost looks like she has on a feathery cape. And she is holding a key, which could also make me think, I don't know, like you're hiding something or locking something away instead of fixing it. Because even she looks a little forlorn. And I'm almost feeling like this raven is like, I don't want to say the devil on your shoulder, but you know, something like that, because it's all dark. And its beak is open, and I think and its eyes are open, and her eyes are shut. And she looks sad, and it just makes me think like something is whispering in her ears, you know. So it could be, I don't know, like depression or some other kind of hurt, or maybe lack of self-confidence, and it's gotten to a really bad point, and so it's like, you know, when you say a bunch of bad stuff to yourself and then you just start to feel like garbage. But I don't know, there's still a lot of beautiful things around her, so it makes me think there's something good there. Just like in the first card, there's something good around her, but she's not looking at it. And even in the past self card with the king, he's not looking at the trees growing behind him. She's not looking at the flowers above her head or the ribbons wrapped around her. And it looks like she might be in a forest in the background, and she's just kind of wrapped up in herself, and she doesn't see it because her eyes are shut. So maybe some kind of self-evaluation is necessary. And then the last card is the Seven of Swords, which is a bird carrying looks like a nest slash basket with a bunch of keys stabbed through it. Okay, so with the Seven of Swords in reverse, normally that's like sneaking around or dishonesty or hiding something. It is interesting, this one has keys on it too. A lot of keys, and maybe they finally have been unearthed, or with it being a nest, it makes me think home. Maybe in the future you've opened up to family members or something. The bird again, it makes me think freedom. So maybe you kind of set yourself free in the end. And maybe the beauty that surrounds you has been your family, and you just haven't been looking to see them. So maybe taking care of yourself best you can, and then speaking to a family member you can feel like you can trust the most, and talk with them maybe. That would be my best guess. Because what I'm thinking, future self, like you're going to be more open and honest, maybe even just to yourself, but even being a little more vulnerable with other people, unlocking a few parts of yourself that you never let anyone see, and it just kind of has been building up for a while and stressing you out, making you sad, making you angry, and to finally talk about it is freeing. So that's the most I can gather from this one. The green aragonite, I hope you're doing okay. Please take care of yourself, your mental health, and if you do need help, there's always someone to reach out to. So talking to someone always helps. Or for me, I like journaling even before talking to somebody. You know, sometimes it can help you organize your thoughts, give you clarity on why you think this way, or if you feel like you're going to end up in an argument with someone you're talking to about your emotions or your mental state or whatever. At least for me, sometimes I can come up with arguments and write them down and like make all my points so that I go in prepared. So maybe that would help you, I don't know. So if this resonated at all, yeah, I just hope you're doing okay and you will take care of yourself. Thank you for listening. Okay, and the last group I'm going to do tonight, you guys have the Labradorite, which is the creative stone. When I looked it up, fun fact, at least from what I read online, so if they were lying to me, it's their fault. I don't know if it's like mythology or there was a certain group of people who believed in it or whatever, but with all the colors in the Labradorite stone, people would say that it was the Aurora Borealis. Like, I don't know if it was like solidified or it got captured in the stone, and then you could see all the Aurora Borealis colors inside of it. So I thought that was fun. It made me like Labradorite a lot. This is me struggling to shuffle my cards. Don't judge me. Okay. So this will be your past, present, future self. Oh no. Okay. Oh no, I dropped it. Shoot. Well, it's up right now. I got the two of wands. King of wands. Oh no. Please be shuffled. And 9. Oh shoot. Pentacles. And it could just be this deck having birds and everything. That actually might be it. Maybe this is pointless to mention. But there are bird imagery in all of these cards. 2 of them have just birds on them. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. I'll get into that in a second. So the first card, 2 of wands. It looks like I thought it was a scepter at first, but then it reminds me of it looks like the bird's sitting on one of those wind turny things. What are they called? Oh my gosh. It has like the north and south on it, and however the wind is blowing, like it'll spin the metal thing. I know, I'm so good at describing that. That's what it reminds me of. So you can piece that together yourself if you want. I can't think of what they're called. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to refresh my memory here with the 2 of wands. Have I been calling them wands this whole time? Are they supposed to be rods? I don't know. I have so many different decks that I've confused myself. Oh wait, no, the book says wands. Okay. Whew. So this card looks dreary. The meaning's apparently really positive though. It could be like being on top of the world. Like, that's what you're feeling. The skies are just like sepia toned, and there's even red like in the center of the card. And with the hazy clouds, it makes me think like something ashen, something smoky. There's branches growing up this metal fixture, and it looks like there's like maybe there used to be a bulb at the bottom of this fixture and it's shattered. So maybe you came out on top in a bad situation. Like things looked bleak, but it didn't faze you, and I don't know, you're this little bird and you flew up to the top of the thing and you're like, I am king. Or whatever, king, queen, royalty. Yeah, so maybe you have, this is your past self having maybe pretty high self-worth or self-confidence at least, in your ability to make it through any situation or turn something bad into something good. Because what looks dreary to this card, in this card to me, I could see, having no effect on a bird, and in fact it could benefit them greatly. With humans out of the situation or what have you, this fixture he's sitting on could be the perfect place for a nest or whatever, like through whatever happened, it was maybe bad for somebody else, but good for you. That's the most I'm getting from that, I think. But there was nothing, at least from what I can tell, I'm getting like there wasn't nothing malicious on your end. It just happened this way, and then it ended up working out for you. So then present self would be the King of Wands, which this card, at the very bottom, it looks like the profile of a woman, but you just see her nose and her lips and her chin, and there's like foliage growing around her, and there's a bird standing on the one branch that looks like it's growing out of her mouth. Yeah, so I feel like the past self card really sets up this next one with you coming out on top, and now maybe you're in some kind of leadership position, and again with you being very confident. That's kind of what this card is about too, being bold and very confident in your every move, which just again, it just seems to work out really well for you. You're just chilling on this thin little branch that looks like it could snap at any moment, but I don't know, you're this uncaring bird, which I'm noticing has red thread in its mouth, which makes me think of like, I don't know if this makes sense. I was like the threads of life. I could be thinking of the Hercules movie with the Fates, and they have that red thread that like is everyone's, what is it, like their timeline or whatever. So maybe taking life by the reins or something. You're just grabbing every goal that you can, or every challenge, every risk. If it looks like a good opportunity, you spring at it and you take it very well, and most of them seem to succeed. So next is the Nine of Pentacles, which is a woman holding a bird on her hand. It looks like she has a grass or feathery neck shawl thing. I'm so good with descriptions right now, I know. But her dress kind of actually reminds me of a tree trunk, and then with the leaves on the top, obviously, a tree. Whoever you are, Labradorite people, dare I say I'm a little jealous of your confidence, I guess. This card's all about accomplishment, independence, self-reliance. So your past self, if something bad did happen to you and you still came out on top, and you decided to make the very best of that situation, like you just keep climbing the ladder until finally you've reached, like, I don't know, maybe the zenith of your career or something, and like you have it all. You've taken every risk, and you've taken chances maybe other people wouldn't have, and anytime disaster struck and like maybe everybody else thought, like, surely they will crumble now. But with this woman dressed in her tree dress, it makes me think, like, you're very strong. You're very strong-willed, and you're not going to be cut down that easily. So even if there are parts of you, branches that got cut off, it just didn't really matter because you're an enormous tree. You keep growing. You keep expanding. There will be another branch to replace that one you lost, And so this whole card looks golden to me, which again obviously speaks of riches with pentacles and whatnot. So it's just like, future you've made it. Congratulations. Wow, how I wish to be you. Just kidding, I'm happy for you. So if this resonated, I hope it was at least enjoyable to listen to. And thank you for listening.